Hello everyone. I'm
Hey,
here with Kirill and Flori from AFK Audio, and we are not going to talk about so much about the drum beam itself, but about the story behind it and the story behind you guys and AFK away from keyboard audio. Hey, how you doing?
hey, I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, my coffee is. I'm in the studio, and I just found out. I just prepared myself to make a coffee for the session here, but then I found out. Oh, I ran out of gas, so I'm with water
Okay,
today. So that's the only downside for for this. But Kirill,
okay.
how are you doing?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I found my coffee and yeah, I have a friend beside me,
That's good.
and yeah.
So you guys must have had a really crazy few weeks just back then because you started a crowdfunding, and I'm gonna talk a little bit. I'm gonna introduce a little bit you guys and the company and the product you put out. So the Drumbeam, which we can see here, is a multi-zone, really cool looking lightning drum controller. And if anyone wants to find out more about that, I have a review, and obviously at the AFK homepage there are a lot of resources. Plus, you guys just successfully started a crowdfunding campaign, which is still running till early December,
5th
the
of
5th.
December.
5th
Yeah.
of December. So if people are interested in the product itself, have a look. There will be links in the video description, plus in the liner notes if I put that on any podcast platform here as well. The drum beam. So you guys reached already over 200% of your
Yes,
goal.
this is really crazy. It's really cool. Thanks to all supporters at this point, because yeah, it helps us bringing this alive.
And why did you decide to do a crowdfunding? Why didn't you go for an investor? Was it just easier to do for
Um,
you guys, or?
Uh, yeah, the thing is, we are not so like serious business people, and we want to keep it simple for us because like we share by three, and all the other options are for us a bit hard to hard to guess how it will come out for us, and uh, it's not always easy to find the right strategy, even with three people, which are like quite close,
Mhm.
like, from their mindset, and we are friends as well. So we think an investor is not a great idea in terms of how the products will develop. Yeah. Also, like for me, the main point is we want to build our own company and want to be responsible ourselves for it, and we don't want to, yeah, be like to do what an investor wants us to do. We want to do it like we want and what we think is the best, and so because we don't have the money to actually produce all the drum beams in advance, we thought we'd make a Kickstarter and yeah, let people pre-order the drum beam. And I think this is like the best solution for us.
Mhm. So, I mean, I don't know you guys a lot, but I've met Kirill at Super Booth 2 years ago, and you were presenting your prototypes, and I was like, okay, cool, great idea. Let's see where this goes. Usually, companies with a new product, and you just started the company for this product, if I got you right.
Yes.
It takes a little whiles, and then even after crowdfunding successfully, and then it takes a little longer, and then there are some problems with manufacturing and whatever, and getting the parts and stuff. And we've seen that during COVID that like things broke down to some extent. So yeah, but I'm really excited about it, and I've used two of those for installation as playable sound installation already. So I can really vouch for the product, and I really like the idea. So what's the history? Because like you started this company for this product. Did you ever
Yes.
like personally, like yourself as a career choice, did you ever thought about you're ending up doing your own company, or was this a plan, or like maybe
Mm,
you guys introduce yourself a little, like what's your background on, like I know Flori did some stuff at university and Kirill is an engineer. So if you wanna let us know a little about like personally, like where are you coming from, and did you pick, like did you ever dreamed about starting your own company?
Shall I start? Or?
yeah, you can
Okay.
start.
So for me, developing music instruments was like always a passion, I would say. I started when I was in school. I built an electric guitar with a laser pickup where I just used the laser, like the light um, uh, I don't know what an English name for it is, but when you go into an
Light
elevator,
sensitivity, yeah.
so I used this principle to pick up the tones from a guitar, from guitar strings, and I presented it at school. Then I started studying electrical engineering, and my plan was to go into music because I knew that at the Technical University of Dresden, where I studied, there is the chair for acoustics, and there is a strong field of research in acoustics and also musical instruments. That's why I studied there. And I did a first internship at a local company in Dresden that builds guitar amps. And I learned how to repair and build like vintage guitar amps, tube guitar amps there. And at this point, my plan was to build electrical guitars and effects, and then with my interest in more electronic music, it switched a bit for synthesizers,
Hmm.
and I did the main internship in my studies, which is for one semester for half a year. I did that at Bastel Instruments in Czech Republic, and I started working on a Eurorack module there, and then after the internship, I worked for them as a freelance developer besides my studies, and I actually released two Eurorack modules with Bastel that I mainly developed. So yeah, I got into this synth stuff and electronic music development, and yeah, then I came to Sebastian, who actually had the idea for the drum beam, and he is at the chair of acoustics and haptics, and asked him if I can do my final thesis, my diploma thesis there, and if he has a nice idea with something related to musical instruments. And he said, "Yeah, I have this idea with this MIDI drum controller, and yeah, let's get to it together." And then I did like the first development steps in my final thesis, and yeah, we implemented with like a way older version, and with different sensors and everything. But the first proof of concept prototype, I think
Hmm.
this is the one you saw at the Super Booth 1 or 2 years ago. And yeah, like this was the starting point for this project. And yeah, as I told you, I always wanted to develop musical instruments. I was not always like I want to have my own company, but since there is not such a company in Dresden and I don't want to move, it was like the easiest thing to start an own company. And with Sebastian together, we applied for funding for Drumbeam, and to make this into an actual product. And we got this funding and another funding, and then we founded the company in this summer. So yeah, this is actually my my way I got into this project.
So Kirill, like, when did you join, and what's your background with music technology and music?
Yeah. I joined, I think, 2 years ago. So in winter 2022, I would say.
Yeah.
So that was like a little before we got this founding. So yeah, we wrote a little paper for the governmental program, and yeah, searched for a third person who's taking care of the business part and the money part of the project.
Yeah, this is what Lawrence does.
Yeah. He's at home because he's sick at the moment.
Shout out to
He's not here,
Lawrence.
but yeah. Yeah, so all the team was complete, and then we were lucky to get this funding. And then we started developing this product right away. And
So how did you meet? Like, how did it come? Like,
yeah,
why are you there now?
Actually, through Superbooth, right?
Yeah, through Superbooth. I was looking for a job at this time, because I had a little company before, but a complete different subject. I had a sewing company. I sew like outdoor gear, and I did it all myself. And after 2 years, I realized it's not what I want. It's too lonely and too much sacrifice. Yeah.
Okay.
So I really was looking for a normal job, like I studied engineering, and yeah, I was applying on like normal engineers jobs at the micro electronics industry and stuff.
Okay.
And then I went to Superbooth and found these guys who were looking for an engineer, and yeah, like yeah, and I thought, okay, I will write them, but maybe it's not the best idea. You're looking for a real job and stuff, and yeah, but these guys were super cute, and was the product they had in mind was really like, for me, a really cool idea, like from an engineer's view, something new,
Okay.
and
Like building something from scratch, or
huh?
building something from scratch, or what it was exciting for you about the Drumbeam when you visioned it as an engineer?
It's because it's quite tough. It's quite tough to
Challenging.
make it really durable. And the prototype was there, but in this way, what was designed at this moment, it was not really possible to like produce it. And it was for me, a really challenging task to find a way to have a design which you can produce and, maintain and replace all the parts if something breaks. And of course, make it durable so it will, like, if you look at this really big, big space here, there's a lot of torque force here. And I had lots of nights where I woke up and was thinking about this construction. So yeah, it's a really cool task. And I wanted to learn a bit more about coding as well. So I said, yeah, I will join this team if I can grab a little piece of the coding stuff. And now I'm taking care about the app development as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, so it was like super interesting fields I can work in this company. And for me, it's the same. I was not really looking for founding a company because I know how it can be, you know, and it's like I had a really realistic view on how the monetary outcome will be through the next few years. And maybe in this terms, it was not the best decision, but I learned a lot and I have a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I go to work like with a smile on the face. And yeah, I think I'm 34 now, so I'm in this engineering and product development business for I think 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the funniest job I had so far.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So you could say like roughly 2 years ago, you guys started working together as
Yeah,
a
exactly.
team.
Like this was exactly when I finished my graduation at university, and we applied for this governmental funding. And basically, this funding was meant for 3 people, and we were looking, like Sebastian and me were looking like for 2 others to have a complete team. And yeah, this took also a while, but I think it's really nice how it came along. So we really got friends.
So what, like, from each one of you, what are like, or what is the thing people shouldn't do, like after this 2 years journey, just starting a company, developing stuff, researching materials, etc. What would be one thing you would say like, don't do this or this, like what was your biggest mistake, like just organizational wise or material wise, or like just like something where you say like, oh, we learned something really important there and we wasted a lot of time on this or something. I don't know. Is there a thing? Maybe there is.
I would say like the biggest learning is that like timetables, time plans never work. So you can
Forget about them.
you can no, not completely forget about it, but we used to make like super tough timetables for ourselves, and actually we wanted to start the crowdfunding already in spring and have it last super booth ready, and then send it out like this autumn. But this was like totally unrealistic because like there's so much to keep in mind before such a launch. Not only the technical details, not only the developing, but also like producing content, gaining some reach on social media, or like getting to people that would actually buy it. Because like there are people who are excited to support new companies and who are excited to buy cool new music gear. But if you don't know, if they don't know you, they won't find you.
Yeah.
So you need to find them, and this takes quite a time. And also, yeah, always something goes wrong. Like there's always some like you place a PCB order and parts don't work because the manufacturer messed up something, or you forgot that there is Chinese New Year and PCB manufacturers won't do anything for 2 weeks, and like there will always be delays. So I would say if you plan your timetable, then have some leftover, like some reserve that
Okay.
you can reach the goal.
Yeah.
So.
Lots of things to discuss, I guess, as well as a
Yeah.
team, and then finding just finding a way on how to make decisions and stuff. Kirill, like, what was your biggest learning failure and learning thing?
I think a lot of the things which when didn't work out so well were like necessary because you if you don't know you have to learn. So I think it's normal, you know, um, because a lot of stuff like is like is because of the combination of different people. You can't really avoid conflicts and stuff because it depends which people are in the team, and even which people are like on the supplier side. There are always people behind all these like names in your emails, and you never really know how they react on this or that, or if they do what they said they will do, or if
Okay.
they don't.
Okay.
So most of the mistakes I would say were like cool, but development wise, I would say find some really good testers like as soon as possible. So like people who are really interested in the product and who are really heavy users, and like involve them really early in the development process, because that's the best feedback you can get, I think. So yeah, I think in the next development process, I will have this feedback loop a little closer and a little earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I can approve that from the outside, saying like, okay, like after 2 years, I'm getting your beta version because I was joining the beta testing and stuff, and I was like, oh, that like this could be great, this could be great, this could be great, and that's probably a challenge anyways because I listened to the interview you did on the Sequencer podcast where you said like our feature request list is like undoable. So which is normal for companies, but and even for bigger companies, obviously, and even for bigger companies, it's much more difficult to do that. But as you guys are like, you have this community approach, and you are like you are creating a product with passion, meaning like, oh, it's it's probably like just the funding you're living off, and just because you are so dedicated and so passionate about the product that it's possible to do it at all. And so what I'm trying to say is like, I think there is like a fine balance of like, oh, I'm really passionate about this feature. Oh, you can do that, you can do that, and like the nerd's gonna love me for that. But on the other side, like, is this really something which adds to the value for a bigger market, which you guys probably need to address to be able to sustain as a company? Would you agree? Is like, because it's I'm talking from my stuff, like developing Max for Life devices, and you can see like, okay, the easiest and visually most appealing things and most accessible things are the ones which are like doing the numbers. The stuff I'm really passionate or like more passionate about is like breaking the rules, creating new things, like doing advanced stuff. But that's it's not really like, it's not paying off at all, like money wise. So how do you guys decide? Like, and what do you have like? If you have such a huge feature request list, how do you gonna manage, and how is your process about like what to spend time on for getting it ready for the market?
I mean, the Drumbeam is an interesting, quite new approach to products because it doesn't have a user interface. It just has two buttons to switch the presets here. but it doesn't have like any knobs. It doesn't have a display or anything to control it. All you use for controlling is your smartphone and the config app we implemented. And this has the advantage that you are not limited to like, yeah, this is the config app.
That's
exactly.
the prototype.
It's a prototype.
Yeah,
It will
Just
look a
for
bit
people
different when you deliver it, but yeah. The big advantage of this approach is that you can put a lot of features inside without needing to have like big menu dives or like feature creeps. You can implement a lot, and it's still because you have like your phone app with like different menus, and you can have a good structure on it, and don't need to have like a total feature creep and like a lot of functions per knob. So yeah, this allows us to put a lot of features inside. But currently we are like prioritizing between like core features, which is obviously like the segments and that you have CC in each segment, and yeah, there are like core features, and then there are like advanced features that we put in the future. Maybe they will come also after the release with firmware updates, which are like more nerdy features that only few people would use, and they won't hurt, but they are not priority in the development for us.
but I think we are both people who like have their pleasure about this a little deeper features, you know?
Yeah.
And I really appreciate products which are offering like features where I'm a little bit like, wow, I never thought of doing this, you know? So yeah, I'm doing music since maybe like since my childhood, but with this electronic machines, I think since 5 years or something. But I really dug deep into some of these machines, and yeah, so yeah, some of the old electron machines, they are really packed full of features, and I think it's a nice approach to make a lot of stuff possible for the user so he can combine the features for his liking, to his liking. And so, yeah, my vision is to have a really complete feature set. But as you have this all in your smartphone, which is like perfect for complicated applications, because you can have the easy stuff on the main page, and then you can dive deeper and deeper and deeper. Uh, so yeah, I think we can have a really big feature set, which is maybe almost complete because this device itself, it's not a really complicated device. Like the
Depends on the perspective.
yeah, but in comparison to, for example, an area touch,
Yeah.
like where you have like a complete another dimension, you know, and you have UI where you can like do all the crazy stuff like sequencing and like XY fields, and it has CV and it's a MIDI clock and everything, you know? And every part uh, is leading to a lot of possible features,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And it's just a bar with LEDs on it, you know? It's like the features you can get out of it are limited. So maybe we can make a lot of them possible for the user to reach, you know? That is my vision, but maybe we will find out during the testaments that like a lot of these features are just not of any interest for the users. So
And
yeah,
and I mean, it's still to be decided like what's gonna be your main market, because
yeah,
I see like mainly three different markets for your product, which is one is like the modular synth community, plugging it in straight into some synthesizers. The other one is people using it for triggering drum sounds, maybe going into Ableton Live or even getting visual feedback for some functions in there. And so more like drummers and maybe plugging it into an SPDSX because just to extend your drum pad and to have more pads. And third one is maybe like some more, even more performance oriented, like DJs, whatever, who just are more about the lighting and that they can hit something visually and can add something only visually to the performance, plus maybe education market because I really like with my playable sound installation, which I did at Machina Bristonica with 2 drum beams and a Lumi keyboard and another MIDI blaster, which is a hand sensor, MIDI hand sensor, and the kids loved it. Like I had kids literally standing there for half an hour, like playing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
just
this was also our experience. We presented the Drumbeam not only on Superbooth, but also at it's called Lange Nacht der Wissenschaften. It's like long nights of science in Dresden, where the university and like different research institutes just show off their research, and it's like this is mostly for kids and families. And we presented the Drumbeam there as a research project, and there were like, I mean, the first time we presented it there was a line of like 10 kids all the time, like constantly 10 kids waiting in the line to play there.
Yeah.
And like some kids just didn't want to leave and just left and got to the line again. So yeah, I think kids really love it. And maybe there will be like a future scenario to use it like as a home drum kit, also with learning apps and stuff. But yeah, this is something we still need to figure out in the future. But yeah, kids love the lights and the hitting on it, so might be also suitable for rehearsing at home.
So coming back to the feature request, like which features to implement or not, and what are the core features. So I think it really depends, and that's why I made the segmentation of the different user groups, because taking this drummer, plugging it into an SPDSX or triggering sounds via Ableton Live. So let's take this perspective, and then this thing is not like a limited controller. It's like a pretty advanced controller you can do a lot of stuff with. So just trying to make my point, like it really depends on where you're coming from. If you see like, okay, for being and that's what I think, like if you guys know, okay, our main market or people are coming from this perspective, those are the core features for those people to be able to like to say like, well, this thing is for me. I think that's gonna take some time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's there are a lot of parameters that you can tweak on your sound source. For example, a synth or a drum module, but it's pain, you know? Like you're sitting on your drum set, and so every parameter you can tweak just by using your phone, like sitting on the chair and hitting the thing, is makes the workflow a little nicer, I think. And everything you can like control via MIDI is tweakable with this device and this app, you know, and theoretically per segment. So you can use curves for the CCs and for the velocity, for example, tweak stuff to your liking, you know, but without like standing up and fiddling on this menu of your drum module, for example.
Yeah.
And for me, this would be a really nice thing to have. And I could imagine that the people will like it as well. So it's not always so easy to say, this feature, it's not really necessary because you can, like reach the same result with like tweaking your sound source. If it like makes the workflow better for you, maybe it's a really nice feature. Yeah.
Yes, of course. But I think like there are things you could say like, well, this is like for this market, it needs this, and this is more important than this, and like
Yeah.
just for people to accessing it straight away. So for example, like I have a huge list of things I want to create and tutorials and presets. So because it's a bit overwhelming if you're coming from this drumming SPDSX MIDI note perspective, plugging it into Ableton Live and then like, okay, so now, and that's maybe something we didn't explain enough for people who are just like hearing about that for the first time, you are able to send a different value depending on where you are playing the pad. So, and this is like just trying to explain it simple, like you would turn a dial and just sending this different effect, for example, to a reverb or to a delay. So people need presets or a lot of people will need presets to just plug stuff in and to get ideas what's possible and just have fun playing straight away, so little things like that will make like the step for people to say like, well, do I want to try this? It looks cool, it feels great playing wise, but what else can I do with it? Oh, and this is opening up even more possibilities here, and this is where I see the huge potential. But it needs like a kind of like a translation coming from like, this is technically possible and this is fun playing.
Yeah, I think we will, for example, prepare example projects for most common DAWs like Ableton, Bitwig, Logic, and so people can just like, download an example project to look like how can I do the routing, can I do, like what sounds can I trigger with the Drumbeam. I think this is something that could people really help getting into it and like to get an overview what you can do with Drumbeam. And also the MIDI setup, like for the basic setup in Ableton, for example, is quite easy since already on our current factory presets we have on a Drumbeam, it always starts with node C1, which is MIDI node 36, and this is usually in the drum rack the first like sound you have there. So you just need to drag and drop and sample into the drum rack, and you can play already. So this is quite easy. So we try to make this whole setup process as easy as possible for.
And there's definitely going to be some presets and tutorials from Ableton Drummer. So.
Yes, absolutely.
So, I mean, one thing, and that's especially coming from this perspective as well, not from the synth modular perspective, but just from the drumming perspective here, is kind of like, I talked to a few drummers, like, what do you think, how much, like, what would be a no-brainer to buy it, like price-wise? And we had this at one meeting we had a little while back as well, already discussed. So I think depending on the perspective, and if I take this perspective, comparing it to obviously not the visual stuff, because that's a unique selling point, the flashing lights performance-wise, but just like having an extension, having a MIDI pad. The Drumbeam, the estimated market price at the moment is $499. After the crowdfunding, again, if people are interested in now, go to the crowdfunding link and check it out, because stuff's going to be cheaper now. But estimated market price $499 at the moment, which is estimated. So this is quite pricey for just an extension of a few pads. How is this price coming together? And because you already said this now, I sense like you really want quality here. You really want things like so. Can you let us know a little bit about like how is the price coming together, and why does it needs to be this price?
Yeah. So first of all, I would say it's important to say we are not Roland or Akai, which are like huge companies with a lot of products and which are already established on the market. We are a new company. We only have this one product at the moment, and this one product needs to like let this company survive. So we need to pay our rent for the office, and hopefully next year also to like pay us a wage actually. And we only have this one product, and we also can't like sell thousands of units, but it's more likely a couple of hundreds. So it's also in the production, like all the parts are more expensive is if you sell like less units or if you order less parts. This is also the reason why, for example, a lot of Eurorack modules are that expensive. I mean, if you compare it to Eurorack, and I compare it to Eurorack because like in the Eurorack scene, there are a lot of small companies and that manufacture a couple of hundred units for each product. And if you compare it to Eurorack modules, it's actually not that pricey because like there are a lot of Eurorack modules way beyond 500 euros that can do less than Drumbeam and have probably less hardware costs. So we already tried to make the price as low and competitive as we can possibly do. But on the other hand, we also try to focus on like really high build quality. We have a solid aluminum body, and like this is milled from a solid block, so it's like you can use it to crash windows. It's like super solid. And we have also like a really solid silicon surface. We have a lot of LEDs. Like everyone who's a bit into electronics knows that LEDs are not cheap.
No, especially if you can choose the color of every LED separately, which is the case here.
Yeah.
So we have 144.
Yeah, for 144 colored, individually controllable LEDs in the Drumbeam. And like this is already quite a lot of hardware costs.
Yeah.
So yeah, this all adds together. And
maybe I can add another thing, because we have developed a special sensor for this product.
Yes.
And we decided to like we didn't choose the cheapest producer for making the sensor, because we heard that other products had a lot of issues with the sensor. And so we are at the moment we have a producer who is like producing in Germany, and it's really pricey compared to like the cheap Chinese producers, but we want to make this product safe. So, you know, like when we deliver it, we don't want them to come back.
Yeah.
We don't people to come back. To come back with, we don't want people to come back.
Yeah.
We don't want people to come back with issues. Yeah,
we don't want the Drumbeams to come back because like people destroyed them. Yeah, I think this all adds up, and we cannot so much look at like other products and like Akai pads or something like this, because we can't compete with Akai. It's clear.
And they cannot compete with us feature-wise. Only they beat the price, but okay, then they beat the price. It's okay.
But
Yeah.
we need to set a price with that works for us, like as a company. We can't set like a too low price and then we produce a lot of units, but we can't pay our wages and then we
Yes,
won't
but
do
it is sorry that it is like showing what kind of mindset you have as a company, because obviously like it's about 3 categories. Obviously you are a new company, you can't compete with prices of an established company who are producing much other numbers, obviously. Done. But what I see here is like you guys are making decisions on like, hey, yeah, well, you could have said like as a company, let's try to make a lot of money and do it plastic, do it blinky, do it cheap, but then like, don't know, whatever, have a price of like 200, 250 or something. But that's not the kind of product you want to create, and I think that's a main thing here why you are at this point. And I mean, everyone I showed this the Drumbeam was like, oh, it feels steady. Oh, there are different things when you buy a controller or when you buy even a sound card or whatever. Like it looks really nice on the internet, it looks really nice at Thomann, and then you get it out and it's like, it's very light, it's very plastic. It's kind of like, do I want to tour with it or not? So
even the high-end stuff sometimes. Even the high-end stuff, you are surprised how cheap they feel.
Yeah, exactly. So and with this, it's like, I think your mindset, the product which is coming out, the Drumbeam, it kind of communicates this by the product itself. I don't have to talk to people like what's the casing, what kind of type is it, or whatever. People feel it and say like, oh, that feels great. And even like Reinhard Buhr, who I went on tour with, I had your beta version with me and I showed it to him and he was like, oh, I would like to play it on the show. You know? So, and this is something where you feel like, wow, you guys you are communicating this in the product already really well. So, and it was easy to hook up. Just like, and funny enough, we were touring, and that's maybe something which is might be a little thing, but it's really important when you're on tour. Or like, we didn't have a stand with me. I just had like the Drumbeam and a clamp, and then we were at a venue, and Reinhard decided to, hey, would really like to try it out at soundcheck and maybe play it live tonight. But we needed a different stand because it needed to be this high so that he can play it properly. And of course the venue had a simple stand, and of course it fitted, so and this is just, it seems to be a small thing, but you can see that the quality in the Drumbeam and the quality kind of like how, like for use cases and how like little things, I kind of feel like I can congratulate and say this really works for a lot, and will work for a lot of people. And for me, it's just a question of time. And if you guys are able to get this point where some money is coming in so that you can sustain as a company.
Yeah.
And yeah, we are like, of course, we don't want to, like, at the moment, our production costs are quite high. I cannot see the future. Maybe they get even higher, depending on the economics. But of course, our goal is to keep the price, get it a bit lower, of course, because we know it's for a MIDI controller, it's a pricey product. But yeah, we don't want to make so much compromises regarding the build quality and the quality of the parts and the reliability. And yeah,
And if people say 500 is too much for a MIDI controller, but they like it, then pre-order it now on the Kickstarter, because
Yes.
right now it's only 375.
There are a few left for 375, and then it goes up to
And
399.
399 is like the next
Yeah.
stage, but it's way cheaper than when it will be on the market. So, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So, future and vision. Where do you see yourself as a person and as a company? Let's say in 2 to 5 years. Like, what's the ideal vision?
As I said, I always wanted to develop music instruments, and this is what I hope for, what I can do for the rest of my life with this company, if everything goes well. Um,
What
I
means everything goes well? Picture that
Yeah,
for
if
me.
like if enough people buy the drum beam, so we have some money to also develop new products and release them. And yeah, like, I mean, there is a lot that can go wrong on this part, like financially, and but I really hope to create a music tech company in Dresden with like few people who are developing cool new music stuff here. And as I said, I worked at Bastel before, and I really like their company. It's a small company of, I think, 20 people right now. And I really like how they work together, and I would have loved to work for them if they were in Dresden, but they are in Czech Republic. So this is like my kind of vision to create something like this here, to have a nice small company where you can decide on your own what to do, and to have like some people who work here, and a nice community space, also a nice music community around this company, to also organize parties together and concerts and events. This is what I personally hope for in the next years. And I hope it will come true. We will see.
Good.
Yeah. My vision. Yeah.
Starting a third
Everything you
company.
said. I think I don't have a super detailed vision about this company, because I really cannot say, or in 5 years we are 20 people working here or something. I don't know. It depends on who's joining, and I think we have a quite good base here, because
Yeah.
Dresden has a lot of engineers
And also a nice music scene.
and the cool music scene. Like, yeah, and it's always developing. There are new people coming, and we have some cool clubs here. Yeah, and it's quite a welcoming scene, I would say.
Cheaper
So yeah, it
than
depends.
Berlin or Leipzig.
Huh?
Cheaper than Berlin or Leipzig.
Yes.
Which is
Yeah,
always important for like having a music scene or having a creative scene where people
Yeah.
can actually
yeah,
do their stuff without having to worry
Yeah.
too much about paying the rent.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, we will see who will maybe join the team and who's bringing his own
Yeah.
or will bring their own visions to the company. But yeah, for me, as I'm more this thinker guy, I have some visions about nice products uh, that may come, and of course about the drum beam, because I really, as I said, I'm in product development since like over 10 years, and I was in big companies. And there was one thing which really annoyed me. It was like they had good products, and after 2 years, they made a redesign, like from some guy who joined the company 2 months ago, who
Okay.
was the new product manager,
Hmm.
And then they there were no new features. Old features were thrown off, and a good product became a okay product. And all 2 years, everything changed because there are new mega trends and stuff. And I always loved these products, which were like, the same model since 20 years. And every few years there were like small changes which were like making it even better. And I really love these products, which just like in German they say Durchläufer, which just go through the development stages and get a little better, but they are super persistent on the market. And my vision is to design something like this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, since we all three are not like super capitalist startup guys, we don't want to make the thing too big. Like our plan is not like other startup companies to grow like to several hundred people and then sell the company. So this is not what we want. We want to have a small local company and maybe grow a bit to have like faster development processes, because like currently with 3 people everything takes quite a while.
Yeah, and for example, our feature list is
Prioritized.
Sorry, a little bit by the amount of time we can spend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously.
In different parts of the development process as well. So, yeah.
And that's something maybe just quickly to add for people who don't know. The Drumbeam, like you can add functions, you can add stuff, and the updating the firmware process is really easy. It's just like a USB stick. You drop the file on there, done. So because you guys sent a few beta firmware updates already, and I just did one today in the morning. I was just like, oh yeah, 2 knobs, plug it in,
this is
drop
also
stuff on
something
there. But this is like something for people to understand what the concept is here, because we were talking about features, and features will be added in the future, which is like you kind of have a quality hardware product here.
Yeah, it's kind of a platform,
Yeah, and you can like easily add stuff, add more stuff in the future, and that's kind of like coming from the vision you just said, like that's how you can sustain as a company. Maybe there needs kind of a business model at this point where you say like, okay, if you like, let's say you have a lot of Drumbeams out there, but not putting out a new product, but putting out some more features and stuff, and maybe like ask for donations or whatever, or find a business model which can support this. Maybe, yeah. Sorry.
I think like updates is a really huge topic for us. It's really important to also have like long support for the Drumbeam with updates and new features. And yeah, I think we will as soon as Drumbeam is out, we will also start developing on other products, because usually a company can't survive with just one product, and also it takes quite a while. And also we have a lot of cool ideas for new products that we want to like develop. But the cool point is here that also from the firmware and electronics, we already built a really good platform that we can use in other products. Like the configuration with the app can be used also in other product ideas. And for us, it's super important to support like future updates, and to have like a long-lasting firmware support on this. This is why we made this platform and why we made this easy update process. It took quite a while to implement all of this already. But yeah, I think we are on a really good point with this platform at the moment.
You definitely are. Like from a user perspective, and I'm quite critical when it comes to equipment and stuff, but you can, as I said already, and you can feel the quality and your
Yeah.
intentions
By the way, this is
building a good hardware thingy here.
yeah.
Maybe, and
By the
that's
way,
kind of
okay.
like where I'm asking, like where the future lies, and that time will show. Obviously, you just need to sustain, and then things will grow. Obviously, with a great product and with the quality product you
Yeah.
got here already. Yeah, I have a lot of ideas. I want to discuss
Yeah.
with you guys, which is not for this interview here, but yeah, hopefully we're gonna meet up at some point and then have time to do this. So cool. Thanks for your time, and well, not fingers crossed because the crowdfunding already matched.
Yeah.
But still, obviously, at this point, it is important if people might be interested to check it out, and maybe this interview helps a little to decide on like maybe adding the extra motivational part here on supporting the project you are or the journey you are on here by getting a Drumbeam in the crowdfunding now until the 5th of November. So links are in the video description here. Great, nice one. Have a lovely day, and we will be in touch soon.
Thanks for having us, and have a nice day as well.
Yeah.
Bye.